What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, geeks and nerds, boys and girls? Today we are bringing you a new series called Trailer Park. And in this new series called Trailer Park, we will break down gameplay videos, movie trailers, all kinds of things that you want to see and point out things you may have missed and just kind of speculate together. And today we're going to start with the new Star Wars trailer for Rogue One that comes out December 16th, 2016. And as always, I am your host, Adam Ronin. Let's get started. There's two things I want to start with by pointing out that you may have noticed from the previous trailers of Rogue One that I just think that it's important that we point out real quick. One, the cinematography and just the way that this is filmed is absolutely gorgeous. You really get a sense of this is a brand new director, new to the series with Gareth Edwards, and judging from some of his past work, he's no slouch to making things beautiful. And the second thing to point out that maybe some of you didn't know, but this is the first Star Wars film in history that John Williams didn't do the score for. And of course, time will tell on how that's going to sound, but judging from the trailers, I am a big fan of the new takes on the compositions. But that's enough about that. Let's reach inside, feel the Force, and break down this trailer. Now, this is probably the final trailer for Rogue One before it launches here in December, and the first thing that we hear as this kind of starts to play out is the voice of Mads Mikkelsen.
Jin, whatever I do.
Now, during the filming of Rogue One, Mads was kind of a godsend for us nerds because he was pretty prone to spoil a lot of things during the filming. He didn't really care at all. He pointed out pretty early on that he was playing our protagonist, Jin's father. Now, as we can see here in the trailer, it looks like the Empire is up to no good in trying to capture him. Now, let's pause here so you can take a minute to really appreciate Ben Mendelsohn's Imperial Death Glare. It looks like he's really channeling his inner Peter Cushing here, and I'm in love with it. You really need a special set of chops to be able to really just channel in and play that special kind of British villain that the Star Wars saga always offers. And especially since he's from Australia, this should be interesting. Now, without showing too much, Disney really gives you a sense here that Jin is a rebel through and through by being thrown in a space jail right from the start of the trailer. Now, one thing that I can say that Gareth Edwards is fantastic at is his ability to give you a sense of scale, as you can see here on the planet Jedha with this gigantic Star Destroyer looming above. They're really hitting it home that the Empire is not to be screwed with here.
You want to get out of here?
But then, of course, neither is the Rebellion. Now, one thing I want you to take note of, because I missed it in my first viewing, is right there, you can see a fallen statue of a Jedi warrior. It's really just another beautiful way of Gareth showing that the galaxy is in need of a new hero. And that hero is going to start with Jin and the Rebellion.
You think you might be able to help us?
When was the last time you were in contact with your father?
So now we cut away here to Diego Luna's character, Captain Cassian, asking about Jin's father, played by Mads Mikkelsen. Now, this is just pure obvious speculation on my behalf, but it looks as if Jin's father plays a particularly important role in the construction of the Death Star. Against his will, perhaps a rebellious role?
They are requesting a call sign.
It's, Rogue One.
I guess it's Star Wars, and Star Wars isn't without its cheese sometimes. I really kind of dislike the way that they really make a punt to call out the name of the movie, kind of like Will Smith did in Suicide Squad. What? We some kind of Suicide Squad? But with that cheese, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in with Darth Vader. In all seriousness, guys, isn't this what it's all about? We've been waiting so many years to see a proper Darth Vader back on screen since Return of the Jedi, and this isn't counting George Lucas and Hayden Christensen crapping all over him. This is the real deal. Now, this is Vader's one of two times he appears in this trailer, and both times are very subtle, but both times are very scary. I mean, just look at the respect and the fear on director Krennic's face there. I mean, he's doing everything he can not to get force choked. But what I really like is Vader is not the center of attention here. He's a looming force in the background, and I feel like he's going to have that role in the movie as well. Now, another thing I could really appreciate is the fact that they brought back Genevieve O'Reilly to reprise her role as Mon Mothma. Do you remember her from Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith? Of course you don't, because they cut her part out of the movie. But she's back, and she's leading the rebellion like a pimp. And she looks almost indistinguishable from the original actress from Episode 4. It's beautiful.
Chance do we have?
Now we finally get to see more of Forrest Whitaker's character, Saw Gerrera, who I'm actually particularly excited about. Now, if you'd watched the cartoons The Clone Wars, he was actually a character in there, so he's completely canon to the story and had been around for a long time, since The Clone Wars. Now we're starting to get glimpses of our entire crew of the Rogue One here. And what's beautiful is I can see my boy in there, the Ip Man himself, Donnie Yen. Now, for me personally, out of everyone they cast for the Rogue One, Donnie Yen is my most hyped member. I've been a big fan of him for years, and I'm really interested to see what he brings to the Star Wars universe. I just hope Disney doesn't puss out on the goods. Now, in theory, every one of these members should die a horrific death, and I'm kind of hoping it's by the hands of Darth Vader and his fiery red lightsaber. And speaking of the amazing Donnie Yen, it looks like he's playing a monk character in this film who is in tune with the Force, and I really like that there's other members in the galaxy that are now in tune with the Force that aren't Jedi Knights. And it also looks like we might be getting some of the space dogfights that everyone was kind of hoping for in Episode 7 that we didn't really get, but it looks like they're going to pull through in this one. Now, at this point in the trailer is really when I went from 6 to midnight. You just can't not. There are reasons why Darth Vader is supposed to be the most feared Sith Lord in all of the galaxies. The prequels might have crapped on that a little bit and made you forget, but Rogue One is looking to really remind you of why Darth Vader is the most iconic villain in history. Now back to Mads Mikkelsen just real quick for a moment. Here's how I see this bad boy playing out, kind of based on some things that he said while they were filming and just kind of my innate ability to predict how movies are going to play out. Now bear with me as I really think that Mads is going to be the hero of the story here. He will spend all of Jin's adult life held in captivity by the Empire while constructing this amazing monstrosity of death, while Jin has no idea where her father is, thinking that maybe he had left, when all the while he's being forced by Darth Vader, the Emperor, and Director Krennic to create this ferocious tool now known as the Death Star. But wait! There's more! But hidden under the Emperor's nose and under Darth Vader's mask is a one weakness that Mads had built into the plans of the Death Star, which is one small 2-meter exhaust pipe. Because surely, against all odds, the Rebellion will find this. Anyway, after some more galactic mumbo-jumbo and this and that, Jane and the Rebellion will find out that her father is still alive. They will go to rescue him, and he will die in some patriotic way to give the finger to the big man in black. Anyway, that's just what I think the movie's going to play out like. But I'm more interested in what you think. Sound off below in the comments or hit me up on Twitter and let's discuss. What do you like about Star Wars? You excited about Rogue One? You excited about the future of what will happen to the Death Star? Who can say? Anyway, thanks for watching our first episode of Trailer Park. We'll be back soon with more trailers. Peace!